guys, what's going on? F1 my pawn here, and welcome back, Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Since we last left off, if I do recall correctly, we had just finished dealing with the entirety of the... We basically dealt with a war planet, essentially, and we basically dealt with all the heretics in the vicinity, or the zone. For this stream, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be leaving said zone, and we are going to see what else we can get in, because I do believe there is a few more things that we can do before things go awry once more. But I digress. Without further ado, let's get into things and see what happens. Alright. So, if I recall correctly, there is one more companion quest that we gotta do in this chapter, I believe. There might be more, I'm not 100% certain, but I am fairly confident we got most of everything. Well, in this run through the game anyways. There is probably way more that I'm thinking of, but I digress. It's not that big a deal. Alright, so, if I recall correctly, we haven't looted everything yet, so we are going to be doing that. We got some Astartes bolters, which we could grab, actually. That might be worth it. I don't think we can actually use them, though, is the problem. But we are given a few things. Unfortunately, we cannot get the heretical gear and use them, so we'll just keep them on us for now. But, hey, it's there. We'll use them in the future, I'm sure. Well, maybe not the heretical stuff, but we'll use the majority in the future. Regardless, we've done what we can. And now, all we've really got to do is just contact the ship to let them know that completion is done. And of course, I'm going to need a heal, because good God, is everybody in for worse wear than me. Okay, we are going to equip a skin patch here, if only to get rid of my... Oh wait, no, that doesn't cure what I'm looking for, so we just use some basic medkits here. There we go. We'll use this to cure a fresh injury. And there we go. Let's see, how are we doing for Vorg? So far, so good. Okay, we're gonna save here. No need to save on stream 30 here. We're just gonna do this for the sake of just having everything gathered and completed. Alright. Report completion. Here we go. The Voxcaster is producing nothing but static. Hello. Can anyone hear me? A Shara's voice cuts through the static. We read you, strike team. This is lift control. Report your status. Erlun is dead. Bashir responds after a brief pause. Acknowledged, strike team. Beginning the extraction of the priority cargo. Priority cargo in a heretical area. That's concerning. A fine victory, Vorg. They will tell sagas about the day the contemptible Urlun fell. The Cog Priest should offer you a fine cup of mead for saving their prairie. Norbald nods at the two gaunt bodies in crimson robes lying on the floor. If you hadn't, Urlun would have been bathed in them in 100-fold more blood. As for you, Ever, Ulthar Thunderlong, you've proven yourself. The Stormbiters will tell you all about your feats and your roaring song. I thank you, Thorvald. You and your brothers fought well. You did the wolves proud. It will be my joy to share a cup with you at the victory feast, Ironhide. How's your packer, Thorvald? What are your losses? Several of my brothers will carry on fighting their battles in Allfather's host. The rest have survived. We've shed much of our blood, but a wolf's hide is tough and his spirit is stubborn. Once you take us down, you better finish us off. The Stormbiters live, on this day and the next. I see you and Ulfar have worked through your quarrels. It doesn't become a noble warrior to bark at his battle comrade after a good fight. Ulfar Thunderlong has proven that the spirit of the baleful howl is alive and strong. Then let the ravens fly where he's locked, and let them tear the bloody harvest left in his wake. May Black Mane guide you through the black of Night Ironhand. Know that if your pack calls, the baleful howl will always answer. What was hidden down there? What was the treasure that Urlon was after? I know not. Alcazar Carols didn't allow anyone into the hidden arsenals. All we could see is them dragging crates up to the surface. 'Tis the age-old way. We fight, they sweep up the spoil. Gorbald grimly nods at a pair of corpses. We brought these from below. For all I know, it is Carls that killed them to seal their lips. You see no signs of violence on the two women's bodies, but their porcelain white skin proves without a doubt that they are dead. Their hands are clutched together in a death grip. The sweet scent of rotten meat prickles my nostrils, but it is not the fallen bodies I see. It is the hands of the Inquisitor's minions. It is what my instincts tell me too. My heart has never had a strong faith in Calcazar's words before, but now whatever phantom trust I had is scattering into smoke. Second. Sorry, give me a moment. Oh. Apologies, I just had to check something real quick. Both of the wolves affirm the last words with energetic force and murderous nods. Let's examine the tech priest's bodies then. Something strange occurred to the two women's augmentics. It's like they began to grow inside their flesh, spreading webs of metal around them. After taking a closer look, you realize that every augment seems to have begun mutating, developing new Developing new forms and functions not envisioned by their creators. It seems probable that this is what caused their demise. Suddenly, you hear a clicking inside one of the tech priest's bodies, as her eyes open wide. A spasm shakes her gaunt limbs, making Thorvald clutch his weapon. Her lips twist into a crooked line, forcing out two words. The yoke. She's still alive. Call the Medicae. Reconstruction. Impossible. The woman's whisper is barely audible. The weak voice that is coming from her pale lips still sounds more live than the mechanical hiss of a vox. Shelter has fallen. The maimed hunter comes. Visitation of vital functions inevitable. Her eyes momentarily roll back, but then a metallic churr inside her chest brings her back to consciousness. Let's inspect the wounds. There's not a single wound upon her white skin, but there is no doubt that she will soon perish. Her augmentics are failing, as if they were sabotaged by some entropic influence. For a moment you consider it a sign of tech blight, but then you refute the thought. What you are witnessing is not decay, but transformation of the matter from which the tech priest's true flesh is made. Who are you? Magos Atsonia Hanuman. That is my identifier. You are not the first servant of the Omnis I have met who goes by that name. The Tech Priest responds with a faint and enigmatic smile. You have found yourself at the center of a tangle of paradoxicality. You spoke of a shelter and a maimed hunter. What do you mean by it? This place was a shelter. The Lord Inquisitor hid me here. Me alone. A high-pitched groan of pain interrupts her words. The maimed hunter. Figure of termination, an unknown variable. Armonat's nemesis. I never met them, but I inferred their existence, based on statistical evidence and logical conclusions. Portents of entropy foretell that the hunter is near. You speak more plainly. My words obscure. Regrettable. Processing becomes difficult when you only have one half of your mind. Certain notions, data, and logical instruments were the less functional parts of me. How do you know about the Armonat? I was a disciple of the Messiah of Discontinuing. When he was laid low, I found myself here. Apologies, just had to check something. I reached out to the omniscient wisdom, and I pondered and considered. Logic revealed much to me, even here, in my prison. Was she your sister? She was me. A phenomenon of flesh divided me into two identical bodies at birth. Omniscient wisdom let me overcome this psychological flaw by bringing back the separated mind. It's the first unificate. Now this half of me is dead. The rest of my mind is fading. The sympathetic principle is insurmountable. The Tech Priest closes her eyes and starts whispering something incomprehensible, sinking even deeper into the depths of oblivion. I see. Wish no more than hurry. The turning of the cog will soon cease. What happened to you? A painted shadow falls on her face. The chapel was attacked. The preservation protocol commanded me to hide within the inner antiquarium, block all outside access to it. Long presence in close proximity to the object was prohibited by the algorithm. But the preservation protocol has a higher priority. The object affected me. I resisted. Resistance led to structural change. What object? Yoke. The weapon we forge at the Lord Inquisitor's commands. The destroyer of worlds. I need more details. How does it work? What even is this yoke? Enigma. The project was kept secret from everyone, including the Smiths. Forged fragments of it. It was a tool for controlling energies of staggering power. It was not the Omniscient's blessed gifts that served as its foundation. It was forbidden knowledge. Knowledge that we comprehended. What else do you know about this weapon? How did Calcazar learn from it? Against whom did he intend to use it? Against anyone. Its power is absolute. Experiments with this tech relic were calamitous. Blight is merely its echo. Its potential is so much greater. She stops, as if frightened by her own words. It never should have fallen into the hands of the laity. The Lord Inquisitor stole it. Its secret was procured beyond the dimensional gate, beneath the dark stars, and passed over an Armonat. Calcazar destroyed the Messiah of Discontinuing and robbed him. Claimed a secret for himself. He knows. He was there. And she points to Thorvald. Thorvald glances at you in shame. She speaks no lies. The first task the Inquisitor gave us in the Expanse was to destroy a cult of tech heretics. The deed was done. This Armonat was... Armonat. Was he a good priest? Did Calcazar drag us into something foul? Ulfar looks away and rumbles heavily. I was there too. I fought those judged by Calcazar. Why did Calcazar need you to do it? First, he tried to do everything swiftly and quietly. His agents and the cog priest loyal to him failed to capture the leader of the tech heretics. When he realized he needed indestructible warriors, he needed us. The cog Koreals were powerless against the wolves' might. We brought carnage to the explorators' ships and worlds. Ulfar, why did you keep quiet about this? Ulfar mutters, his expression is dark as a storm cloud. There wasn't my interest. There was another's will, and it's this chapter's matter. I've already told you more about the wolves than many of my brothers would said in my place. I respect your oaths and do not think less of you. Thank you. Ulfar looks away, and you can barely make out a string of Vernician curses. You can surmise who their intended addressee is. What else do your wolves know about the Armonat? Thorvald throws up his hands. Nothing. I swear on my honor. He disappeared. So did his ship. There is no blood of his upon our hands. And what do you know about the secret weapon? I never even knew there was a weapon. I was told of traitors and I tracked them down. I claimed no trophies. I had no part in any dark intrigues. You think I would have wished that sneaky, scheming viper to get his hands on something so powerful? I wouldn't even trust him with my axe. It's not my place to judge you. You're following orders. Thorvald frowns and says in a hollow voice, and yet doubt smothers my heart. Do we sully our chapter's honor with deeds done for a dishonorable end? How exactly did the object affect you? Difficult thing to explain, for layman. Metamorphosis phenomena occur in the object's vicinity. Sacred technology and even ordinary plastiles start to behave willfully, shifting, reconstructing, and altering their fundamental attributes. Imagine yourself gazing upon a surface of water that was disturbed by a stone an era ago. Ripples never stop coming. That's what it felt like. The object propagated echoes of change. Why are you revealing Calcazar's secrets to me? I was never his servant. I was forced to serve. When our circle was broken, he offered me a choice. Submit or die. He threatened to kill half of me if I refused to forge for him. He needed Archmagos Armonat's knowledge, and I had it. I saw no sense in resisting. Well, I doubt I can learn more from you. It's difficult to process. Have I fulfilled my duty to the Omnissiah? Can I rest now? She looks like she can no longer see you. You are in need of help. Attempts to slow down the degradation process are irrational. They only prolong my suffering. I wish ceased to be. Brother, take my thoughts. I kept them. Keep them now. The final words are a faint whisper. And with it, we are done. There is practically nothing more for us to actually milk from this, so we can leave whenever we want, and now would be a good time to do so. So I'm going to save on stream 30. And we're going to save under that turn, because I think that's fitting for what we are trying to do here. It appears that the Grand Inquisitor has betrayed us to some extent. Or at least it sounds like he has. It's hard to say what his motives are for this whole shenanigans, but there is clearly darker purpose going on than we realize. At least darker than we have currently perceived. We'll have to see the ultimate. We'll have to see the grand machinations they have planned for us, but I digress. We should be fine for the most part. So we meet again, Ulfar, Thunderlord. Thorvald gives Ulfar a stern nod, then he turns his steely gaze to you. Long live the rogue trader. Business has brought us to your Drakkar. The traces of Halbrand's encounter with Ulfar, rock-hard forehead, are still fresh on his face. The young wolf rests his hand on his axe. Greetings, brothers. What brings you here? Ulfar returns Thorvald's look with an equally fierce glare. For some reason, he has forgone his magnificent armor today, and stands on the bridge clad in little more than the physical perfection inherent to an angel of the Emperor. Live long, comrade. Enris Hyolda. Grennis Hyolda. We thank you for your hospitality and kind words, brave Pascal. Thorvald's face breaks into a wide grin. His affected severity vanishing from his face, he rumbles solemnly. Brother Ulfar, you swore that you would stand for the honor of your path, Baleful. Did you descend to Euphretes II with your brothers? Did you fight? That world my boot did tread. In fallen halls my victory cries I roared. The day the Allfather asks, for a reckoning of my deeds, I will not be ashamed to tell the siege of Euphretes. Who will bear witness to the truth of this wolf's words? I shall bear witness. We know you, Vorg. We have seen you in battle. We believe you. Show us the scars, brother Ulfar, that we may see the mark of your deeds in the flesh. I did not acquire my scars to show them off, brother Thorvald. Show the scars, brother, show the scars. Thorvald's cries echoed by the other wolves, who banged their fists in their armor. In time with the words, the ship begins to vibrate. Let's look at Ulfar. Ulfar's decision to appear at this meeting without his armor suddenly makes sense. You are watching a ritual, and Ulfar's show of modesty is merely a part of the performance. I shall join the chorus. Show the scars. Ulfar turns with ostentatious reluctance to let the light fall upon the fresh marks he received on Euphretes II. You had no idea that he suffered deep, grievous wounds. The crowd erupts in roars of approval. Thorvald raises his voice to shout over his brothers. Did you take a glorious trophy in that battle as a token of your valor? Ulfar removes the horn he wrenched from the Hellbrute from his belt, and you notice that it's already carved with Frisian runes. The wolf proudly shows the trophy to his comrades, causing another explosion of cheers. Proudly thunders the baleful hound. Praise the Allfather for sending us such a formidable and valiant brother. Thorvald makes a gesture, and Halbrand removes a magnificent axe from his belt, presenting it to Ulfar with a deferential brow. Accept from the Stormbiters this gift in honor of battle that was fought shoulder to shoulder. And we get the Singer of Fearsome Sagas, an axe that has a special attack that inflicts bleeding. Thorvald, will you now tell Ulfar where to look for his brothers? The wolf hands you a data slate. The coordinates displayed in it are a monstrous distance from the inhabited worlds of the expanse. I will not stand in Ulfar's way if he chooses to go searching, but, brother, you have proven glory of your pack. not time to sever this word thread. Respect, I once again extend my offer to join the Stormbiters. The pack's plaid steel marks are resting in Thorvald's outstretched hand. Forgive me, brother, but I must decline your offer. Though my heart fills with joy at the thought of fighting alongside you. Ulfar draws the knife adorned with scarlet runes and slices his palm. I, Ulfar Thunderlung, swear before the Blackmane and by the blood of Fenris that I will not cease to seek my pack until my own eyes behold them alive or dead. I understand, brother. May Blackmane run beside your path. Fortify yourself. Stoke your rage. I see that your heart is darker than the waters of the world sea. So I ask you, take care that you do not join those of whom we must not speak. I think it's pretty obvious what they mean. Basically, heretical space marines is the biggest issue. I see you, well, there's no, I guess I can go for this. Ulfar, give us a good look at your new axe. Thorvald grins with pride as he looks upon the magnificent weapon. Our rune priests tempered it in the blood of the despicable word-bearers who fell on Euphretes II. The blade is enameled with bone meal from the tooth of Pharisine Kraken, and inscribed on it are the names of all the brothers of the baleful Hal Pack. You know that the name inscribed on a Pharisine weapon can mean different things, whether glorification of past heroes or commemoration of the fallen. Ulfar runs his finger over the symbols, lingering first on the one name, and then another. You are no expert in Pharisine runes, but you can make out these two. Arnulf and Skiardi. Thank you for this gift, worthy of the Vagir, Ironhand. Ulfar tests the weight of his new weapon. His face bears that of a satisfied expression seen only in the faces of true warriors, who have found the perfect weapon for their hands. Ulfar, I see that you have decorated your trophy from Euphretes II. With something of a flourish, Ulfar shows you the angular yet graceful script of the runes that wind around and around the gleaming core. When I return to Fenris, I will drink Mjord from this while singing the saga of my march into the Corona's expanse. So what now? Well, we should probably return to Adrakar. You sent a question mark at the end of Thorvald's statement. Ulfar's face becomes serious, and he gives you a significant look. Ulfar, I would hate to violate any Pharisine traditions. You see to the arrangements. In that case, let the serfs throw wide the cellar doors and haul up the provisions. We will feast and glory in our triumph. The wolves burst into shouts of approval, and someone with a gravelly voice starts singing a merry song. No doubt, one about massacres and glorious deaths on the battlefield. The kitchen servants here are certainly no match for those serving in the Great Hall of Fenris. The masters on this Drakkar are not lacking in hospitality or generosity. A small group of space wolves is enough to fill your entire magnificent ship with clamor, shouts, and other portents of the coming feast. A formidable feast in which eating, drinking, and singing will be done the way wolves do things, to their last gasp. There we go. A lovely conclusion given the circumstances. Tools of Righteousness. We will give up 9 weapons for 3 mobile extractums. It's another trade edict, done and over with. Before we go any further, we are going to talk with a certain somebody. Specifically, we're going to talk with Pascal, I think, given the circumstances here. And we'll go from there. I'm satisfied with that conclusion so far, and yeah.
The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all.
Have you studied the neural augmentic yet?
I have destroyed it.
Pascal stares at you inscrutably and says in a soft voice. A slight telltale rattle in Pascal's voice makes him sound unconvincing. You're lying.
This statement is true. I am yet to settle into a definitive course of action. I am running a spot diagnostic on the memory of the heretic Demens. Even though purity protocols stipulate that his blasphemous knowledge must be eradicated, I am not drawn toward forbidden information, but only to data concerning the blessed Armonat.
Have you found anything?
The success has been partial. Demens Haneman's identity has been confirmed. The widespread influence of paranoid motivations is observable in his cognitive processes, which is what seems to have caused him to break his vows. However, extensive regions of his memory have been damaged by forbidden technologies and are, for now, defying decryption. My study of the minds of the tech comrades, Abel, Tarsus, and Demens, has revealed an anomalous similarity between the patterns of damage their memories sustained. What I attributed to cognitive idiosyncrasies, synaptic damage, and the distortive action of scrap code may be the result of a different kind of influence. The undecryptable data fragments in their memory arrays are mysteriously symmetrical.
What corrupted Demens?
An echo of the warp. Energies of the immaterium that had seeped into real space and taken the shape of a Vox signal. I have found recorded cases of similarly induced corruption in the archive. Listening to the void is a perilous occupation.
Has it ever occurred to you that all these events may be part of Armonat's plan?
That is a valid hypothesis, but not a very likely one. Its truth value is irrelevant, as it does not contradict the necessity of establishing the fate of Archmagus Armonat.
And information on his, Archimagos Armonat?
The data discovered is unreadable. It is encrypted, albeit only partially, and I hypothesize that the heretic Demens was attempting to decrypt it. I will take every effort to extract a larger volume of data. Information pointing to the unit referred to as the Maimed Hunter is alleged to be of critical significance.
Continue your research. I guess I can go through these, but...
Quest for whether knowledge can be proof. My apologies. 90% of my processing power is engaged in the analysis of my tech comrade's memory. My response time may be longer than usual.
Okay. It's gotta be 2 or 3, I'm personally thinking. Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm of the firm believer that 3 is the best option. So I'm gonna go with that. I believe that any and all knowledge can be tamed for the glory of humanity. You just need to know what you're doing with it and if you're willing to take the sacrifice.
This is true. We explorators are the sappers who walk the uncharted terrain.
I'm just gonna skip most of this, basically, but yeah.
Affirmative. May.
Regardless, let's see. There should be one thing here. Okay, aside from that, yeah, that's basically it. Argenta's daring foray, yep. We'll need to deal with that and a few other things, but otherwise we should be fine to just go onto Corona's map. So I'm gonna save here. I'm satisfied for the most part. Worst case, we'll get a conversation of some kind, here or there. Depends how lucky we are. We'll go from there. Let us see what happens. Argenta does not try to hide her excitement. Rogue Trader, at last we can speak. The victory on Euphretes II was invaluable in of itself, but what a great fruit it bore. I now know the way to Salus Prime, the planet where a great relic of the Empyrean lies hidden. Are you prepared for this journey? My heart longs for the battle, Rogue Trader. I've dreamt of a chance to kneel before the relic for so long, and it's right there, on that planet. And so are the heretics who dared to stop me from doing so last time. Excellent. We'll set the course for Salus Prime as soon as we can. My gratitude is yours, Rogue Trader. Alright. I do believe we can just go to the world map because we've explored everything in this area here, and we don't necessarily need anything. So we're going to go to the Cronus map expanse. Alright. Let's see. Make planetfall on Salus Prime. I just need to find it. Okay, make... I guess the best thing we can do is just go seek out Calcazar, so I think we need to go to Footfall? Yeah, we need to go to Footfall and get some answers. We can also look for Salus Prime while we're at it, so why not? Your Lordship, esteemed Choir Master Zachary Weiss is reporting that the Astropath has received a signal. It states the following. Arch Mechanicus Hermetio is calling the unit Pascal Hanneman. Directive, visit. Priority ahead of the queue. Purpose, discontinuing the cycle. It is followed by a set of coordinates. According to my data, the lost sacred vessel, Hermetio, is the flagship headquarters, and last confirmed location of Archmagos Armonat. I hereby request permission to immediately embark on the expedition. Pascal, why are you being summoned to that ship? No data available. No hypotheses are available. The justification is irrelevant. If the blessed Armonat summons me, I must comply with the directive. Very well. Chart the course to transmitted coordinates. I am coming, Mentor. Alright. Now we gotta visit Hermatio as well. That's sure to be fun. I just gotta find where all these quests converge in. Okay, we got also Wraith Towie here, which I do believe is where we need to go for this next expedition, as it were. I just need to find out where I need to go, really. I don't see where the quests are going, so I'm gonna have to look around, specifically. So I'll start with Cranarch here, because this is an easy way to go around. Okay. So we need to go to Footfall. We also need to go to Wraith Towie. And then we need to go to System Sepulchre. So let's see. So System Sepulchre is over by... Yeah, we need to go to Tekelos Epsilon, and then we'll go to Trinitos, and then we go to System Sepulchre. So we are going to go over to Mundus Valentius, because what I want to do specifically is I want to forge a deadly astropath over to Wraith Towie. Regardless of the circumstances, we're going to reduce the difficulty down to dangerous. There we go. It's not perfect, but it will get the job done. And hey, if we get some points out of it, I can't complain. So yeah, off we go. Alright, we take some damage in the Light Void, but that's to be expected. We're gonna have to fight, but that's fine. A small price to pay for not making the astropathic link safe to traverse.
Is there money to be made?
No. Alright, so we're gonna be dealing with some pretty dangerous foes here. Although this is probably not the worst of what we could be facing, so I'm not going to complain. And considering we're just usually a solo build anyways, we'll be fine. Alright, we're going to save here. Because this is a specific combat, I do believe, that we have to undergo. But something we can actually deal with. Let's prepare to get violent with the Xenos.
You will beg for mercy.
Hello.
I will grant none.
I will revel in your suffering.
Alright, we're gonna go into cover here and get ready for whatever they're gonna do.
Quick, quick! I'll do what it takes.
Oop, dodge. Alright. Okay, we're gonna actually get into cover, let's say, here. This will give us plenty of cover to work with. Yeah, that's gonna give us full cover with whatever we got. In fact, I'm gonna move over to here to make it a bit easier for us. I'm gonna aim for a 95 here, I guess.
I'll make it happen.
Hoorah.
It was inevitable. You thought twice before crossing me.
Alright, we'll do a run and gun. I guess I could go half cover here. That way, I'm getting as much as I can here. There we go.
My soul sings in ecstasy.
Alright, I'm gonna activate Reckless Rush here. Alright, if I move here, then I'm only gonna get hit on these 3 tiles. So if I get surrounded, I'm not gonna be as barraged as much as I would expect.
I won't stand for it.
Alright, let's activate Wildfire. Rapid Fire, Concentrated Fire. Let's use Devastating Attack here. Alright, there we go.
Never stood a chance.
Nice. Activate Revel and Slaughter. There we go. And that will be my turn. We're gonna save under Pain. Although, this is honestly gonna be one of the easier fights that we've dealt with. Considering the boss fight that we had to deal with was probably the worst thing that we had to ever overcome, so...
I can't stand
YOLO.
Vile delights beckon you.
Look out, Emperor! Protect me.
Alright, they're all moving into position. Alright, we're gonna move Yerlit behind cover.
I move swiftly to strike.
We don't want her doing anything crazy anyways.
Monotony.
Quick,
Don't
quick!
touch me! Emperor, protect me!
Alright. We're gonna move over here, actually. Because I do want to provoke here. Let's see. We are currently at a ballistics of 142. We do not have the defensive buff on. But that's actually perfectly fine because we can just do this. And completely cause a ruckus. Boom. Nice. Roasty Toasty. We'll activate Revel and Slaughter on top of that. We are going to do a Reckless Rush here. And we're going to move up to here, specifically. We're going to activate Steady Superiority here. I'm going to aim with the focus of just aiming straight as the focus. There we go. Nice.
On it.
Do a run and gun. Swap over to the flamer. That way we can cook these gooses.
Never stood a chance.
Alright. Then all we do is just activate Wildfire, Rapid Fire, Concentrated Fire, and finally, Devastating Attack. And bada boom, we are basically ready, because everything that we've done is basically for this point. There we go. And yeah, despite everything, we are basically good. So, yeah, Ulfar comes in. We'll move Ulfar here because we don't need them to do anything. Demonette comes in, trying to do some shenanigans, I would imagine. We activate this. We'll activate Firearm Mastery here. Nice. Activate the buffs accordingly. We just activate full hog damage. Because I just want to see how hard we can go. Purifire Plan. Reckless Rush. We'll move all the way up. And
I'll
cook
see
her.
to it personally.
Whoosh.
Down.
Nice. That wasn't too bad. That was actually really easy to do. No amount of sneak attack is gonna stop us. Not for a long
Keep your
while.
wits about
Anyways. Alright, but I digress. We've managed to set up our network here. It's a little bit of a mess here, but other than that, we're basically fine.
Always
I
keep
assume
your
it's
eye
just
on
a
the
random
prize.
combat that we had to overcome. Oh well, regardless. Let's save. And let's get going. No need to save any more than we did. Coronis map. Expanse we go. Alright. Gonna chart new routes here. It does appear that there was a connection to Lapidus Mortis. I just didn't want to go through that effort, so that's sort of why I did it. We're gonna make sure that we reduce the difficulty here, but now we're gonna visit Wraith Tawi. Here we go. We got an unknown anomaly, and we've got the planet itself. So we're gonna save before we go any further. Satisfied with the results. We'll go from there. Prepare the ship just in case. Master Helmsman Ravor reports on a giant anomaly covering most of the system. Confusion is evident in his voice. The augurs are incapable of detecting the area itself and the objects within it, but it is obvious they exist. The blurry blots of planets and space debris are visible from the bridge and of the void ship. The areas distort even the faraway stars, in sparks enclosed in thick, curved glass. Let's remain in and research the anomalous zone. The ship's instruments are powerless before the aberration of the Rathatawi system. Urlid Lavinus says that the Farses once spoke about such a thing. The impenetrable canopy is an echo, wounds created by the warp, but nothing more is known. Where even the Aldari could not find answers, human efforts are completely futile. I see. And from here, this is it. Dallas Prime, the place where I suffered my defeat. No, that's not right at all. The place where I am to pass my trial. Argenta's voice is emotional, trembling. The augurs are operating at full capacity, but the data we are receiving is limited. The planet's magnetosphere is hindering our scans. Fierce, never-ending storms constantly ravage the surface. Relying on Sister Argenta's memory is the only way to find what we're looking for. It's an easy enough task. Just look for the tallest mountain on the northern continent. That's where we're headed. That mountain isn't a mountain. It is the very ship we are searching for. A ship that resembles the mountain. Yes. Legends say the ship fell from the skies. Yet it wasn't destroyed by the impact. What was it, I ask you, if not a miracle and a testament to the glory of the Imperium and its saints? The ship towers over the planet's desolate surface, encased in ice on all sides. From up high, it looks just like a mountain, majestic and lonely. What should we do once we get to the mountain? Above all else, our mission is to search for any evidence of the accursed cultists who attacked me when I came here last. I'm still one of the Sisters Ornatus, and my primary responsibility is to protect the Holy Relic. If we succeed, I hope to complete my pilgrimage, to enter the halls of the sacred ship and find the relic itself. The One Star. And what if the cultists are long gone? And what if they stole the relic? then I will chase after them to the ends of the universe, through darkness, fire, and the horrors of the warp. Her voice is vibrating with anger, but a moment passes and she calms herself surprisingly quickly. But I do not believe that those rotten-souled scoundrels could have gotten a relic. It says plainly in the Saints' biography that only those who is righteous and resplendent of heart can enter her ship. I know her power greater than the most profane sorcery of cultists. What could they possibly do to match the workings of one who was a living saint of the Imperium? I see. Prepare my shuttle. I must warn you, you won't have much time for this expedition. We are registering an increase in storm activity. Weather conditions are deteriorating rapidly. This isn't about rain or hail. Local storms can perforate a shuttle mid-flight. Everything in our path is a test, be it storms or heretics. My last visit to this planet ended in the Archenemy's servants wounding me and claiming the lives of my brave companions. This time, it will be different. You and I will fight side by side, Rogue Trader, and we'll do what must be done. So be it. So it sounds like we are dealing with a timed mission, if anything. So the sooner we do things, the better. But it's hard to say, so we'll see. Alright, and with that, we go to the crash site. We are not going to bring anybody but Eurlet and Argenta, so let's go. I don't think the Argenta is going to have any dialogue here, but it's interesting to see what they might do, so who knows? There might be something worth noting. Probably not, but it never hurts to check. Regardless. We are basically on a time limit here, so we gotta rush it. Perception.
Noble families from the primary world are looking for any excuse to destroy each other, Elantok.
Alright. When the wearer uses intimidation, the target inflicted with the intimidated also gains a staggered effect for 1 round. In addition, Dashing Aquila. The wearer gains the dash ability that costs 0 AP and can be performed twice per round. Whenever the wearer uses dash, all adjacent enemies suffer 30 perception until the start of the wearer's next turn. It does not stack. Okay, that's fine.
Is there money to be made?
So we're running on a very tight schedule, so we gotta be quick. That's another discus. A brilliant silhouette appears where the light rays are coming from the sorcerer's device converge. Ah, the little puppet of darkness. The one who was so kind as to bring me and my brother to this planet. You returned to me. Just at the right time, too. Fury sparks in Argenta's eyes. Who are you? I do not know you, sorcerer. No, you don't, but you should. I am called Brother Afterlight. Divine blessings flow through my veins, and my ears hear whispers of the truth that you will never comprehend. Puppets. All you need to know is that, of all the disciples of the final dawn in this corner of the Grodus expanse, I am the strongest. The stronger the disciples who survived, you mean? After all, we've exterminated the rest of you on every world we found you on. The ghostly figure lets out a laugh. Hear such hubris in your words. What I should hear instead is despair. Or haven't you realized it yet, stranger? You are fighting a war against an ocean without end. No matter how many of my brothers and sisters you cut down, those who join our ranks will always be greater in number. Well, that's enough of it. The little puppet brought some friends with him. Good. He was just finished with the remains on the last group of fools who risked coming to the planet with you. You remember the death cries, don't you? Or do the lives of mere pawns mean nothing to you? The Emperor accepted the souls of his faithful. They died cursing your name. The name of the puppet who had brought them to the slaughter. and then alone escaped with her life. Enough. Be silent. Argenta lowers her weapon and drops her head. Such painful mistakes. I brought heretics to a sacred ship. I lost a battle for a holy relic. And I let those who followed me die a terrible death. Because I decided that I could achieve everything on my own. It was my purpose and mine alone. Remorse is the first step to making amends. Take that step and then take the next. Towards your enemy's death and the relic's salvation. You're right. You're 1,000 times right, rogue trader. Feel remorse and I will atone for my mistakes. Come. We have helped her... We've urged her to repent for her hubris. Or at least that's what we're trying to do anyways. There's a lot to go over, put simply.
I know how to take risks.
The planet's weather constitutes a serious obstacle to a successful landing attempt. We are given a lore warp here, though.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
This altar to the gods of the warp is made up of several parts. They must have assembled it here after transporting the components from elsewhere. I see.
I always have a backup plan.
Seems there's more to this area than meets the eye, I would assume. But before we do, I'm going to look around as much as we possibly can. I'm going to make a demolition check here, so I'm going to save. Should be able to succeed this relatively easily, I would imagine.
Failure is just a temporary setback.
That is a load. I'd rather succeed rather than fail if I can help it. Oh well. We'll be fine.
I always get the job
Bingo.
done.
For our troubles, we get Restless Absolution, some medkits, and pain blockers. Restless Absolution. If this weapon's attack fully negates the target's armor, this attack deals an additional 75% damage. That is scary. That is a very scary weapon. Yeah, if it fully negates the target's armor... Okay, so if the enemy has... If we can bypass armor, that weapon becomes an absolutely devastating tool of combat. Kind of impressed, to be quite honest. We also get the Chaos Body Glove. If we're heretical, this is a good option. It's kind of sad that you get some heretical stuff that you can't really access normally. There are human remains under the ice. Mizoa Pattern Lasgun. We don't need it. We got an athletics check here. That is used to jump, I do believe. We've got some tough cultists here, so we're going to have to do some parkour here, I think. But that's perfectly fine. If we do it right, we'll be able to catch the drop on them.
That's how it's done.
There we go.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Okay, we got a Medicae here, and a bunch of cultists here. It seems as though we've got the advantage here, so... I'm just gonna keep these guys behind cover.
I have traveled far darker
Lead us to
paths.
fortune.
And I'm gonna completely demolish this area here. Let's swap over to our gunning. Gonna save. And let's prepare a violent entrance for all those involved.
I'll make it happen.
Bada boom. Okay, I guess that isn't the case, so I guess I'm gonna prepare myself by going in. Let's do this. Hello. And so we meet face to face. Afterlight does not look alarmed or tense, merely somewhat puzzled. Welcome to my temple. Your every word defiles the air of this place, heretic. The threshold of the sacred ship is not your temple, and it never will be. You have no idea how mistaken you are. Afterlight nods at the unmoving ship and the sinister-looking devices nearby. For a long time now, I have been preparing to bend this relic of your cult of puppets to my master's will. You Imperium lackeys are blind, stubborn, and carry the stench of a dead flesh wherever you go. But you make for good sacrifices. The baubles you worship make for superior materials, or artifacts. I am the maker of miracles, the arch-artificer of the final dawn. My hands mold creations, capable of transforming reality. Bone flutes that summon my master's angels for the immaterium, lenses that burn away the imperfections of the people and worlds. Such things require resources. I found good use for the rabble that came with you from the planet back then. I find a good use for your new friends too. And you, and the ship, and whatever relic it holds. If you hadn't threatened me, things could have gone. No. No. Heretics are gone. Accept your death, heretic. Feel the wrath of true divinity. Puppets of the corpse.
I'll make an example out of you! Show them no mercy!
Not exactly a puppet myself, but, you know, whatever. If that's how you want to see it, that's how you'll see it. Why don't I... Let's saddle up here. Or do I? Let's actually save here under here. I'm satisfied with my dialogue, so we're going to go with that. And then we'll save under the pretext of the next thing. So, we need protection against these guys, so the best protection I can think of is here. That's probably for the best. Is what I would say, but it doesn't seem to be the case, so I guess here's fine. Alright, I'm gonna swap over to the flamer here. And I'm actually gonna approach here. Because I want to burn everything here. With as much combat prowess as I can get my hands on here. So let's burn. There we go. A nice and crispy burn area of effects.
I'll make it
Do a
up.
run and gun here.
Let's make some opportunities. On it.
Alright, let's burst fire here. Hey.
Defense is a good offense.
Alright, we're gonna activate Revel and Slaughter here. Here we go. We will activate Reckless Rush. That way we get as much as we can out of this. In fact, I'm going to use this as a chance to get primed and ready over here. Oh. That was something. I'll activate Wildfire here. I'll activate Rapid Fire and Concentrated Fire.
I'll see to it.
That way I get the most out of this. And I'd like to focus on the Enhanced Holy Lens if I can, so there you go. I'm using the Enhanced Holy Lens as the target, mainly because it's the best option for me. And then I will activate Cautious Approach, get our defenses up. We'll go from there. Alright, Afterlight's going to be doing his thing. Bursting Chaos Spawns out of the wild. We'll leave Argenta and all that over dealing with other things, but otherwise I should be fine.
From the ashes,
No.
will rise.
What are they going to do? They're going to start attacking me.
Your pain won't stop me.
Yeah, I'm going to move over to here. Because I need to do at least this much if I'm going to deal with the majority of these enemies here. Let's burn this collective group here. There we go. Alright, running gun. Here we are. Nice. Alright, let's activate Revelant Slaughter here. Activate Steady Superiority. Swap over to this, so that way I can get the burn in. Nice. We'll get a free reload in for this occasion. We'll also do Reckless Rush, so that way we move even further beyond. Gonna move over to here. Let's activate Wildfire. Activate the buffs accordingly. And we'll get Devastating Attack on top of it. And I do believe we can start targeting Afterlight here. And we should be fine. We'll go for the 60 here. There we go. Nice. Now will be our turn, because now we're just a target. We're gonna get attacked, but our defenses are just that good. Alright, there goes Argenta. That's to be expected, but yeah.
Hold on. Stay with us.
Activate this. We're just gonna casually burn this guy. There we go. Burst fire. Alright, firearm mastery.
To witness this.
Alright, run and gun here. We're gonna move into a position that's better for us to target this cultist. There we go, and boom.
He never
Done.
stood a chance.
Argenta gestures for you to stop. She looks at the shining entrance to the ship and begins to speak, quietly and solemnly. When I first learned of this planet's existence, the great relic that lies before us, I decided that I was chosen for a great destiny. That the saint whose name I bear had summoned me, led me through the void and the nightmares of the Maw, all so that I could enter the sacred halls of this ship and accept her boon. But never mind that. Bitterness creeps into Argenta's voice. I thought myself special, chosen, Worthier than all my sisters, even back when I was a novice. Pride. I was blinded by pride. In reality, every step of my way here was fraught with errors. This cannot go on. I must cleanse myself. I will enter the sacred ship to beg forgiveness, and I will emerge renewed. I know it. I believe. You speak as though you intend to go alone. I do. This is my personal trial, Rogue Trader. Besides, though it is written in the life of Saint Argenta that pilgrims may enter the ship one by one, but their deeds must first be measured. Every pilgrim will then be permitted to behold the relic, or denied that right according to their past actions, and their strength of their faith. What if I wish to enter the ship as well? You may, but just wait for my return. Please understand that this ship is more than just a curious ancient site, waiting to be explored. The ship itself is a relic imbued with great power. You saw it yourself. Even a sinister sorcerer, the Arch-Enemy's servant, in all this time, could not find a way inside. Only pilgrims may enter, and only those whose souls is without flaw. Very well. Go, Argenta. May you find what you seek. Argenta nods. Her eyes are locked on the entrance. Only the worthy, those whom the saint accepts, may enter these gates. The undeserving will be rejected. I am ready to accept her verdict. Without another word, she starts walking towards the ship, toward the blinding light, pouring through the gates. Light, I come to you. You are rejecting me. No. No! Lord Captain, please return to the ship. I urge you to hurry. The storm is coming, the one I warned you about. You can't survive it on the planet's surface.
Miscalculations are for commoners.
Well, that's
I don't
concerning.
make mistakes. I make profitable learning experiences. Let us know.
I don't blame it. Like, given the circumstances, she's hanging around me, so at best it's questionable whether I'm a good person or not. Oh well. The entrance was completely demolished by the explosion. There is no way inside.
I always have
We'll make a Medicaid check here.
just as I planned.
The captive's skin is ruined by necrosis. These wretched souls were probably tortured with cold. Well, we'll see if we can't find Argenta, but I highly doubt it, so... Well, we'll try and find her. We'll try. Grab this.
I always keep my options open.
We can level up, to be fair. That is another thing. Alright, we can boost up a characteristic, and we can boost up our skill. Let's see, what do we want to boost up? Intelligence we can boost up, but I don't think there's a reason to do so. I think toughness is honestly the best thing that we can do, because we kind of need the HP. As for stat boost, let's see. Carouse seems to be the only thing that we haven't increased high enough, so we're going to increase Carouse up to 125. There we go. And let's get the heck out of here.
Rise to the top.
I'm curious to see what happens here. Oh well.
Keep your wits about you.
Yeah, I don't know where Argenta is, so rip her, I guess.
Always keep your eye
That's
on the
concerning.
prize.
Oh.
I've faced worse
Ow.
than this.
Alright, we're going. We're going. We've done as much investigation as we possibly can. It seems, we're gonna have to hope that she can actually, outlast whatever trials she has. It's a shame, but she ran off. We can't really do much about that. As far as I'm aware, anyways. Interesting. 2 days later. Oh, trader. The familiar voice greets you, and yet so much about it is unfamiliar. Argenta shows no sign of her former stubborn audacity. Her eyes have sunken and her face looks haggard, yet filled with a certain desperate zeal that you do not remember seeing before in her. Forgive me, rogue trader. My emotions got the better of me, and I ran. It was an unworthy urge that will never see the light of day again. Everything will be different now. Everything will be different. What the hell are you going on about? I'm talking about myself. About what I am. You saw everything. You saw the sacred ship reject me. A ship that only the worthiest may enter did not deem me one who deserved that right. You hear no bitterness in Argenta's voice. And for that, I thank the Emperor that the saint who gave me my name. I offer this gratitude with all my heart. What happened cured me of my curse of pride, and showed me the depth of my weakness, errors, and flaws. But the path to redemption is known to me. It always has been. My mentors are not here to conduct the appropriate rites, but it matters not. In my heart, I am now a Sister Repentia, one whose sole remaining purpose is to die with honor, and atone for her transgressions. It's good to have you back. We have many battles ahead of us. Indeed, and I'm ready to follow you again, more than ever. Well, that certainly happened. Now, whether this is the true method of atonement for her, that's hard to say. It's fine to be prideful, but I think her pride would have gotten her killed, is the thing. So it's probably for the best that I stopped there. It's not the ideal outcome, because you can get something if you do go a certain route. But we'll go through that when we do eventually go through the dogmatic playthrough, I do believe. So that'll be something for the future to look forward to. But, rambling aside, we've done what we can. So, off we go to our next objective. We've done that task. Now we just got a few others to do. We technically can go back. You know what? Let's see what we can do if we go back. I'm curious. You never know. Maybe there's something here now. I've not done this mission before, personally, because I went, as you know, I went through the game once before. Oh.
Don't you dare leave us now!
Okay, so yeah, no, it's not something we can actually deal with. Okay, never mind. Whatever. Maybe there'll be a chance to go there next, again. But, as far as I'm concerned, it's fine. Let's see. Yeah, no, we won't be able to figure out what's going on there. Sadly. But that's just how it goes, sometimes. I guess we can talk with Argenta, see how she, fared. I'm curious.
Lord Captain, your presence is welcome. And I wish to apologize for my prior coldness. After our first meeting, I was concerned that you would turn out to be another faithless offshoot of the von Valancius dynasty, like the traitor Conrad. But now I see before me a worthy leader and servant of the Imperium. I am glad to accompany you in your endeavors.
Your pilgrimage is complete. Do you still wish to follow me?
Following you into the flames of battle will grant me a chance of purification. And that is all I want. It is all I think about. A righteous death and peace thereafter, should he choose to grant it to his unworthy daughter.
I see. Alright, well, that's good to know. Maybe we'll get to learn more once we go the, once we go dogmatic route, but sadly, that is not something we're going to be discovering today. We shall discover more in the future, I am certain. Regardless. Off to our next objective, which is going to be the Tech Priest, I do believe. So, we are going to just warp over to Mundus Valancius here. Gonna take us a little bit, but that's fine. We now warp over to Tekelos Epsilon. Quickly move over to Trinitas, but before we do, I actually want to go through colony management real quick. See if there's anything worth noting. Alright, is there any projects I missed? I don't think there is. But I will check all the same to see if there's anything else that I need to do. I can't do the Lost because that requires 4,100 experience there. But it is there if we do unlock it, so that's nice. Okay, nothing here. Yabagama. Alright, yeah, no, quite literally the only planet here that needs to be upgraded here is the Lost. And for that, we need to go through various hoops to get that done. So, not something that we really need to prioritize. But I do believe we need to go to System Sepulchre, because this is where we need to go. So in we go. We are going to deal with this. And then we will figure out what the heck is going on. Let's save here. Explorta Florita. Your Lordship, hailing the ship surrounding the Hermetio's wreck led to receiving the following transmission. Ye are the cognizant fleet. We praise the Messiah of discontinuing. We remain in prayer. We remain on standby. Let the cycle be discontinued. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. We are the cognizant fleet. We praise the Messiah of discontinuing. Pascal, it looks like a gathering of believers in discontinuing the cycle. Confirmed. The number of adherents in discontinuing the cycle does not correspond with the earlier prognosis. The willingness to declare one's commitment to the teachings of the Blessed Armonat is anomalous. This unit is intrigued. Is there anything unusual about these ships? Yes, your lordship. We are picking up traces of recent combat of many of the vessels. Numerous traces. Based on the initial radiation background assessment, it appears that an Adeptus Mechanicus weapon has been used against them. I hypothesize that the schism within the Cognizant fleet has reached a climax. My tech comrades raised arms against one another. It is with sorrow that I register this information in the archive. Let's request a landing aboard their vessel. We have received a standard denial of request message, your lordship. What outrageous impudence. It will be done, your lordship. Let's patch them into... Oh, request denied. We're receiving only the message voiced earlier. Very well. Seems they're useless to us, so we'll leave them alone. I'm going to anchor in some resources here. Might as well while we're here, huh? There we go. Let's go to the Arc Mechanicus Hermetio. Your lordship, according to the ship's registry, we're looking at the Arc Mechanicus Hermetio. We picked up a Vox signal coming from her. Mission granted. May the Messiah of Discontinuing reveal the way to a safe docking gate. The raspy voice of the person who received the message is vaguely familiar to you, but you cannot put your finger on it. Requesting the right to participate in the first boarding party, evaluating shuttle docking options. Is there a safe docking spot? Not at the moment, your lordship. Damage to the hull makes observation difficult, and the surviving vacuum locks are sealed shut. I hypothesize that the proper vacuum lock may be opened using my personal access code. Justification: a message from the Arc Mechanicus. What do we know about the ship? Each Arc is a sanctuary of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Every such ship is a relic. They are incredibly ancient and were made to search for the sacred standard template constructs patterns. Legends tell of entire Forge worlds that were literally disassembled for parts to make such vessels. In any case, it is a ruin in her former glory. We observe numerous traces of internal decompression. Not a single sign of aggression carried out from the outside. For what it's worth, some of the decks look intact. At least, from the outside. We're also picking up a strange radiation emanating from the hull. We believe the ship has been in the processional of the damned for a long time. Assemble the boarding crew. It will be done, your lordship. Perfect. And honestly, we're just going to bring Pascal for this. We don't need to bring Urilet, as far as I'm concerned. Unless, of course, it's like for... As far as I'm concerned, we don't need to bring her along for most things. As long as it's their quest things, we won't worry about it. But yeah, there's points here and there. It's all cool. Alright. Let's save and let's investigate.
Let us not dawdle.
The hulls of this holy ship feel strangely familiar to me. This vessel is furnished throughout with extraordinarily ancient and sacred mechanisms. What a great temple it used to be. How dare they set up a camp right in the heart of the sacred machine? This is a sacrilege against the blessed remains. This noble warrior's armor on augmented are undamaged, and yet they are dead. What killed them? Majestic metal statue is frozen in a menacing combative pose. This is odd. I see scratch marks from a servo claw on this venerable Scatar's armor. I am registering residual traces of paper combustion inside this cogitator's casing. Did they fuel this repository of knowledge with books? I recognize the pattern of the chants. They are imitating the reactor shutdown vigil. Something simply ordered the spirit of this
Rise
machine
to
to
the
die.
top, or get left in the dust.
The bay was breached from the inside. Traces of scattling suggest the use of melta charge. Hey, Abel. Quiet and mysterious as always, Abel Hanneman's demeanor is a mixture of cautiousness and curiosity as he inspects the ship's ruined interior. When you approach him, he acknowledges you by speaking softly. Death's footsteps were heard here. My tech comrade insisted on taking part in the excursion. This is as much of a priority mission for him as it is for me. We are both expecting to meet our mentor, Armonat. Abel, why did you decide to come with us? The cycle is on the verge of being discontinued. Doubt has opened its maw wide, bidding us to enter. Do you understand what's going on here? Abel averts his eyes in embarrassment and says almost shyly, The hunter is coming. The hunter. The maimed hunter. Pascal places a mechandendrite's claw on his Abel's shoulder, demanding an answer. Abel nods. The maimed hunter. The maimed hunter. That persona occurred in the data I decrypted. Unfortunately, the sum total of information on it is very near zero. I see. Yeah, fruits and footprints indicate that the locals have turned the sacred engine tank into something like a ritual font. Tribeman avoids your gaze and makes a strange gesture, probably some kind of ritual, as you approach.
Is there money to be made?
Huh. Let's save here and investigate even further. We'll save here because there appears to be somebody that we can talk with here. I'm mildly curious to see what happens. But yeah. The lean hunchbacked man studies you with his piercing gaze. One of his eyes looks you up and down. The other has been replaced by a bulky augmentic, ancient and adorned with gold, but is deactivated for some reason. He states in a dry voice, The ghosts of nothingness have entered the deck of the Archangel Cry. I greet your tribe. We come in peace. The man shrugs indifferently. His voice is tinged with sympathy. It does not matter. You are ghosts. The middle-aged man carries a potential coil on his shoulders, after a manner of tech priests. It is held in its place by straps and is not connected to anything. Its weight has given him a hunchback. One of his arms has been replaced by an exquisite tech scribe, augmentic. But the quills and styli are incredibly dull, as though they have been scraped against bare rock, or scraped rather, against bare rock, and the limb servo motor is dormant. The sight of the mangled augmentic elicits a pained grimace from Pascal. I am registering evidence of the precious true flesh being operated in unacceptable conditions. The markings indicate that this sacred metal was fashioned many centuries ago on blessed Mars. Putting it to such crude and careless use is an insult to the Omnissiah. Who are you? The undertakers of the world that expired, and the great discontinuing of the cycle. The mourners holding an eternal requiem for the universe. Fascinated by the answer, Pascal says quietly, The cycle be discontinued. A wan, condescending smile graces the man's lips. It was discontinued a long time ago. Do you believe the world has perished? This statement is true. The world ceased to exist very long time ago. It turned to nothingness, to ashes. All that's left are these ruins. The last shard of the universe. Its cento. Alright, what do you think destroyed the universe, then? The unthinkable was wrought. The cycle was discontinued. This tribesman mind is full of the most unenlightened superstition. Why does this unit seemingly know less than some primitive barbarian? Is that good or bad? Neither. It just happened. But it was a grievous event, and we grieve. Is that why you call us ghosts? Yes. There is only nothingness outside this ship. Sometimes it spits out ghosts born out from the world's ashes, and they wander in. The sight of you saddens us, for we mourn you. Alas, there is nothing we can do to help you, since you do not exist. I see. The man sighs and makes a sign with his hand that is vaguely reminiscent of a tech priest gesture to ward off evil. What do you make of these people, Pascal? Hypothesis. This primitive community is made up of descendants of low-ranking technomats who once serviced this deck. The name Appian derives from category Acgen. Ac stood as the acolyte category, which served the main decks. Gen referred to the service staff, who were assigned general as opposed to specialized maintenance duties. The man looks at you and Pascal with indifference. He does not seem to have understood a single word. I'm going to quickly speed through most of this dialogue. I don't really care too much to say much of it because I just want to keep going as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm just going to quickly go through these. Nothing really too noteworthy, but basically, we've got to meet the peripheral spirit and find clues that would explain why the lift is blocked. There is an easy solution to this problem, however. And I can assure you it's an easy fix. We're going to save here in particular. We need to talk with this tech shaman here, specifically. Alright. I'm going to quickly speed through most of the dialogue and just go from there. Given existing data on machine spirits' refusal to follow orders within the chain of command, I predict the standard identifiers will be assigned a low priority. Introduce yourself formally, why not? Machine spirits can be capricious and undisciplined. After years without sanctified maintenance, this one has forgotten all about the obedience. Normally, in cases like these, the tech priest would bring the wayward spirit to its senses with a shock from an electric rod, or a blow from a wrench, accompanied by the litany of uninterruptible obedience. Yeah, so basically we need to beat this, I think a show of force is necessary. Go on, Pascal. This statement is true. Pascal extends a hand towards the machine, which is enveloped in showers of sparks. The crack in the tech priest's armored respirator shines a bright green. There is steel in his voice. My power is authorization. Acknowledge it, or you will regret it, wayward spirits. The Dogmatic shaman shouts out in fear and shakes his drum frantically. Prep acknowledges your power, Ghost. He does. He asks why you seek his friendship. A pained rattle comes from Pascal's voice as he touches the crack in his armor, which is no longer glowing. He looks as though he's had a sudden toothache, then says with effort, Hypothesis. The Prefect Emulator's request is to be interpreted as, what is the purpose of your visit? You know the answer yourself, Pascal. I have come to discontinue the cycle. Well, that's a rip. I guess I could load, theoretically. It's not like I've, done too much to, stop him. I don't know. I'm just sort of winging it. I know there is a specific command that can get friendship here. It basically saves you from fighting the enemies, I do believe. But I digress. We're going to speed through the dialogue and go from there. Alright. Show of force. Yep. Mission from the Armonat, I believe it is. Oh. Okay, so basically, no, we need to do something profound. Apparently. Or something else needs to be done. I don't know. It's such a specific thing that we have to do. 1 second. Alright, one more time. Introduced formally. Show of force. Skip that. There we go. Telephoning profound and spiritual, invoke the Omnissiah. There we go. Oh, so no really change. Okay, never mind. Oh well. Meet the pref spirit. Okay, we would like to go to the... Denied. Okay. Pascal, unlock the lift. I'm just gonna skip through most of the dialogue, but yeah.
I always have a backup plan.
Alright, let's talk with the chief.
I always keep my options open.
Maybe Abel can help us. The sacred archaeotech and the profane have mixed, like tainted water and sacred unguents.
Let us not dawdle. Always keep your eye on the prize.
Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's anything I can do here. I don't think there is much.
Keep your wits about you.
Trying to figure out if there's a solution to our problem. Nope. Okay. So we're gonna have to load back to here, I think. I'm just trying to figure out what the best solution here is. Give me a second, because I do believe I can just Google this. I have solved this problem before, but I believe there's like a specific way you can do it. But yeah. Let's quickly just go through our journal here. The cycle be discontinued. Alright.
I always have a backup
Okay, so
plan.
I think I need to go here to get a item.
This is intriguing.
There we go. So there's apparently something here that I missed. We get our hands on heavy lifters and a mask called the Mark 8's B35 filter mask. So these gloves give you 30 strength, and if you have not moved in the previous turn, your ranged attacks with heavy weapons deal additional 50 damage until the end of the turn. So, yeah. As long as we don't move, we can basically become a monstrous damage dealer with heavy lifters. This filter mask will give you 25 athletics and immunity to toxin, so great tank item. But I do believe those gloves are going to be our next best item that we're going to be using, so we're going to wear those instead. The heavy lifters just seem better in general. We will lose out on a boost into our crits and the boost to our hits, but the ballistic skill is meh compared to what we could do. Although that said, our strength is absurdly high now, so we've got a lot going for us strength-wise, so that's interesting. Theoretically, we can equip a normal weapon and go from there, but I can't be bothered. I very much like what we've got currently, and I very much like the Flamer because it's just so versatile.
Open.
But regardless, in order for us to continue... Okay, yeah, okay. So there's a very specific dialogue set of options that you have to go through. Alright.
Is there money
But
to
yeah.
be made?
So for this tech shaman, all you gotta do is you gotta be very specific with this. We need to plead for the prep's benevolence, and we need to do the specific things. We need to tell him that Pascal is the messiah of discontinuing. You need to show him a show of force, specifically. And finally, you know the answer yourself. And by doing that, you are given permission to go up.
Let us not dawdle.
And for it, okay, what do you make of the ship? Alright, finally, we now just need to get to the observatorium. And it's hard to say how that will work out, but we will try our best to make it happen. So we'll save here. I'm satisfied with the results because we got a success. And now I do believe that by doing it this way, Pascal, unlock the lift. Do it. And by doing so, we activate the enemies. And that is unfortunately just something that's going to happen. So now, we got to commit
Beg
violence.
for mercy, but I will grant none. Surrender to the dark powers.
Alright, Pascal, get in cover. We're going to stay stationary here. Immortal Scutari Devotee. Huh. We should be fine to just go ham on these guys. We're gonna move up here.
Risk is my second nature.
Swap over to fire. And if we do this, we will get everybody that we want to target.
Who, if not me? You thought twice before crossing me.
Alright. We'll
I'll
run
see
and gun
to it
here.
personally.
Okay, we're gonna move back a little bit so that way we can aim for these two here.
What's to come?
There we go. We will do a reckless rush here. We are going to activate Wildfire, followed by whatever bus we like.
It's as good as done.
Going to aim with the intent to target him down, I suppose. We're also going to throw in Devastating Attack for extra measure here.
On it.
There we go, that's one.
Best defense is a good offense.
Then we're going to activate Cautious
Who, if
Approach
not
here
me?
just to get our defenses up. Pascal, we leave alone. Everybody's going to start firing at us, trying to hit us, but to no avail. We're going to go full defense mode here, and we'll see how we fare. We're going to get hit a few times here and there, but we should be fine, given the circumstances.
Death to the weak.
In fact, a lot of them are going to try and chase after us here, and fail to hit us. So, all we do now is just burn the heretics.
I'll make it happen.
There we go. Nice juicy burn here. Alright, do a reckless rush so we just completely negate the wildfire
On
negatives.
it.
Activate
Who,
all
if
the
not me?
buffers going forward.
I'll see to it personally.
There we go.
I'll make it happen.
A few hits and a few misses, nothing too crazy though. Nice. We'll activate Revel and Slaughter here. Alright, activate Steady
Accept your
Superiority
loss.
here. Swap over to the Flamer once more.
It's as good as done.
There we go, get the guaranteed kill. Get a
I'll see
reload
to it
in while we're at
personally.
it. Do a
Who,
run and
if
gun
not
here.
me? I'm ready for whatever comes.
Then we will deal with the Fiend of Stakari here. Yeah, we'll aim for him specifically.
Best defense is a good offense.
There we go. Nice. There we go. They're gonna do their thing, try and hit to take us out, given our circumstances, but to no avail.
I don't need luck.
Alright, we're gonna
I
move
have
up to here
strategy.
specifically. We will burn both of
On
them.
it. Your end was inevitable.
Okay,
I'll
we
make
will
it
reckless
happen.
rush here.
Let's make
We're gonna
some
move up to here.
opportunities. It's as good as done. You should have thought twice before crossing me. I refuse. You should feel honored to witness this.
Alright, we're
I'll
gonna
make
do
it happen.
wildfire here. Not even gonna
Who,
buff
if
up
not
my
me?
stuff. I don't need to.
Enemy down.
There we go. And with a
I'll
simple
see to it,
well-placed
Percy.
shot,
Your end
boom,
was
done.
inevitable.
Elevator's ready, and we can now continue on with relative
I
ease.
always have a backup plan.
Grab everything that we can here. Mortal Sikaris are doing their thing. We'll just grab what we can here, and we'll get going. Because as far as I'm concerned, these ancients don't really bother anybody else aside from us, so... Alright, let's see if there's any extra dialogue that we need to overcome. Nope, it doesn't seem to be the case. Let's see if Abel has anything to add. Nope. Alright.
Rise to the top, or get left
It's
in the
time.
dust.
It is time to go to the next level. And we'll see what we come across. For those of you who are a little confused on what's going on, basically, or a little confused on what's going on, basically, Pascal's uncovering a lot of interest about his mentor, basically.
Let
We've
us
talked
not
about it
go.
before, about what he's trying to search for, and we're finally reaching the crescendo of what's going on, and we're actually meeting up with somebody of interest. Alright, but other than that, we should be fine as far as
Is
I'm
there
concerned,
money to be
so let's
made?
go see what they have to say. The face of the tech priest standing opposite is hidden behind a brass mask. Rather than being one piece, it is assembled from the fragments of many augmentics. You've met this man before. He is called Brass Whisperer, a member of the Lord Inquisitor Calcazar's retinue. There you are, tech brother. Brass Whisperer's voice is raspy and punctuated. His gaze is turned towards Pascal. The salutatory procedure will be performed and the identification codes verified after the priority request has been executed. Tell me, where is the blessed Armonat? Pascal's voice clanged like steel. A cracked chuckle comes from behind the mask. You still don't understand. I need to check something real quick because it does matter for the future here. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. Alright. You are from Calcazar's retinue. Does he have anything to do with this? Marginally. He used to play a major part in this story. Not anymore. This meeting is held upon my initiative. Brass Whisper surveys the Inquisition's soldiers and warriors of the Omnissiah, standing motionless. That said, I am still under the protection of the Lord Inquisitor and a cognizant fleet. Keep that in mind. Locals spoke of a ghost without a face. Did they mean you? Response. Affirmative. In order to move the Hermatio out of the procession of the damned, we had to disturb the pitiful locals. We are looking for Archimagos Armonat, and we want answers. Looking. Absurd. You lack the very concept of what you are looking for, layman. You expect to find a man. And Armonat never was one. He was never one person. The Armonat Collective was created by a group of tech priests who renounced individuality and merged into a hive mind. A mind that reasoned algorithmically but was guided by the principles of the convictions of the righteous spirits. A superego that brought them one step closer to the Omnissiah. You are looking for Archmagus Armonat, you say? Something clicks inside Brasswhisper's mask, and his voice becomes louder and harsher, as if coated in liquid metal. He has been by your side all this time. This statement is false. The hypothesis is without merit. Brasswhisper interrupts him with a forceful shout, as the cycle coils in multitudinous loops. It intersects with it and locks us in a cage of data vows. Pascal shudders as if struck by the motive of force itself. The dendrites rise like steel wings behind his shoulders. The voice from the Vox speaker takes on an otherworldly profundity and power. Therefore, the cycle must be discontinued. Pascal, what's going on? Pascal turns his gaze to you, his pupils burning bright with celestial fire. A single word escapes from his vox. Restoration. Cognitive reconstruction mechanism activated. The memory is awakening inside you. Brasswhisper is shaken by a violent coughing fit, then he shouts ferociously. Remember. The Armonat Collective was designed to be a philosopher and a researcher. The concepts he produced were so powerful that they almost destroyed the cognizant fleet. But when he faced an unsolvable dilemma, that was when the Armonat came apart. The seven constituent servants of the Omnissiah hid their own memories from themselves behind false personas and were sent off to various parts of the Coronis expanse. They went into hiding. Each had to live in solitude for many decades, accumulating observations and eventually bringing that experience to a reunited Armonat who would tackle the dilemma once more. That would be the restoration. Sorrow echoes in Pascal's inhuman voice. 211 Terran years. Such a long time ago. Your companion looks overwhelmed and pensive. The tech priests named Hanuman are all parts of the Armonat. Yes, 6 mental keynotes. Demence was paranoia. After the separation, he sensed that his memory was a web of lies, and that feeling drove him to the depths of madness. Tarzus was faith, fiery and unyielding. Axamantha was logic, unclouded by emotion or vague value judgments. Abel was her good twin, imagination. He did not know his past, just like the others, but he felt more than they did. He was always different. This is why he was the first to get close to the restoration. One of the first. Pascal was Judgement, the moderator of cognizant processes, the one who made the decision. Pascal's voice rises to the vault of the observation and rumbles beneath it like thunder. Nahil. The brass mask starts to unlock with a hissing sound. The augmented bend back, revealing a face disfigured by burns. A woman's face, with a pair of darkly radiant, vibrant eyes. Skepticism. The one without doubt. If the Armonat believed he could form again, the plan sounds risky. The restoration was statistically calculated on a level beyond your comprehension, Layman. Billions of variables were taken into account. Countless scenarios went into the development of optimal strategies. 2 Armonat units meeting each other was inevitable, certainly. The matching identifiers were used to be a spark that would start a chain reaction. And that was precisely what happened. A ringing brittleness enters Pascal's voice. We were motivated by the perfect stimuli: curiosity, anxiety, shame. Each part of us was hostage to the legend of a betrayal it had committed. Her suffering drove us to search and strive. What was the dilemma Armonat faced? Its name was Extinctus, the secret to the right of putting a machine spirit to death. A technology embodying the discontinuing of the cycle. Was it meant to exist? Or was it the acme of profanity against the Omnicide, his creation? Pascal continues Braspitcer's speech in a lofty tone. Ekatos was the perfect weapon against creations of the Omnissiah that had been corrupted by enemies, but also against his faithful servants. Its spread could bring victory to the Imperium, or it could destroy it. Ekatos could spell the end of the Adeptus Mechanicus, for it was the perfect answer to the power wielded by the cult of the Machine God. Was it a blessing, or a curse? Whoops. I thought I was not muted. I thought I was talking, but I guess not. I apologize for that. So it might have been muted for a little bit. I apologize for that. Let me fix this. This statement is true. I admitted into the Lord Inquisitor's retinue and authorized to study a dangerous artifact taken from the Armonat. It tried to exert some kind of influence on me, but my data vials protected me. A heel Hanneman touches her scarred face. A short circuit awakened some of my memories. I conducted an analysis, solved the Ekateos dilemma, and began to act. My agents all but terminated Tarsus, but he hid under an armor of martyrdom and insanity. An attempt to intercept Pascal on Alter Templum Calixtus X-17 failed, because Abel had summoned him. The assassins caught up to him at the Rykard Manor starport, but he was able to escape again. Another group went after Abel, only to perish at an Electro-Priest monastery. You dispatched the Ments, who had lapsed into heresy. Axamonthia simply disappeared until she suddenly turned up dead on Euphretes II. I have no idea how she managed to hide from me. Yes. How because I was harboring Axamonthia the whole time? She was working for him. I am registering a lie. The Lord Inquisitor shared my conviction that Armonat's legacy had to be destroyed. He was summoned by the Coronis Expanse by royal members of the Cognizant Fleet in order to depose Armonat. It was his troops that attacked the Hermetico in an attempt to obliterate the schismatic creation. So that was how you got aboard the ship into the observatorium, Nihil. Our traitorous tech comrade gave Calcazar the access codes to the bridge, and he gave them to you. Acute conviction vibrates in Pascal's voice as he makes these quiet statements of fact. He's not asking questions, passing judgment. You were deceived, sister. Calcazar appropriated our work. He continued our research, no longer bound by the Omnisci's canon. And you enabled him by destroying those who could return and reclaim his bloodied prize. Lies. Something you have not heard before creeps into Nihil's voice, a note of fear. You betrayed your brother's sin. You betrayed your brothers and sisters. Do I want to say that? No, I'm going to say the second option. Yours was a grim duty, but you were unflinching in fulfilling it, I must admit. With a mixture of pain and pride, Brass Whisper replies, We all choose the path of martyrdom. Merely help them reach the supreme goal at the end of the path. Nihil's voice is imperiously metallic. Brother, I offer you a chance to yield peacefully to a fate that will please the Omnisci. Do not resist your termination. You will pass into oblivion as my friend and fellow believer. Pascal's reply sweeps Nihil's words away like a gust of wind, his optical visor turning a blinding blue. No, Tech Sister. Refraining from resistance was never our way. I am an explorator, a reconstitutor of knowledge. I've brought fire to 100 worlds. I've gleaned 1,000 secrets in the darkness. I am an agent of unbridled will. I will not yield to oblivion, for oblivion itself fears me. I'm gonna actually check to see what the dialogue options for let this cycle be discontinued are. 1 second. Let's go choices here. There we go. Okay. I'm just checking to see if there's anything going here. Let's see. Armonat and discontinuation gets that, and if we disagree... I'm just checking to see things. This is my companion, Pascal Argenta. You made a mistake of meddling with him. You wanted me to awaken, Tech Sister. Here I am, holding you to account. Though we won't get the resolution I'm looking for until after the fight, but I digress. Nihil's disfigured lips twist, and seeds of dismay sprout in her voice. I lured you here for a reason, Pascal. I wanted you to see what our followers had become. This is what deviation from dogma ends in. Breach of canon begets ignorance. Ignorance begets blasphemy. All we did was breed corruption. Schism. Remember when they came to depose us? We resisted them and destroyed the ship. A sacred relic. An ark. Mechanicus older than our priesthood itself. Here in this hall, we released Ecos Extus and allowed an unconscionable heresy to happen. Do you remember? Do you remember how you got your cleft jaw? Pascal looks thoughtfully as he touches the crack running across his armored respirator. A green spark runs through the deep gray gash left by an enemy weapon in the metal. It's sufficed for you to merely show up in the expanse again, with a schism, to rear its head once more. The cognizant fleet is already being torn apart by the fractal war. Is this what we wanted? Let us finish this. Let us discontinue the cycle. Now the words of the one who once called herself Prospector sound more like a fool. The voice that answers her is no human voice. It could belong to a giant void ship or a forge world, if they could speak. You violated procedure, Skepticism. You usurped the function of another. You challenge only. You do not make decisions. I do. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way we can get out of this. In the end, Pascal is Judgement, so he's the decision maker. Pascal sends a mechandendrite towards Nihil and pronounces, Tech Sister, my judgment of you and your actions is one of condemnation. Tampering with procedure is unacceptable. Sabotaging the experiment is atrophy. For your betrayal, your vital functions will be terminated in the name of the Messiah of discontinuing. A greenish pulse of energy is born inside Pascal's augmentus, and darts towards Nihil in a furious lightning bolt. Ooh. The green injury entangles Nihil like a net, burning her true flesh, draining the life force from her augmentics and mechanical components. But she focuses her will and strikes back at Pascal with a pulse of her own. The rattling voice, no longer human, rages and roars like a forest fire. I refuse to recognize you as the Messiah. I do not believe in you. That is your problem. You have always been too skeptical.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
To the death!
Alright, Pascal, I want you at the back here. Vorg, you can perfectly go over here and be fine. Let's see what happens here. We're gonna hurt a little bit, but we'll be fine, all things considering. Yeah, we're gonna get hit quite a bit because,
Break them around.
Ah, are you kidding? Did we get stunned?
Won't stop me.
We did get stunned. Okay, that would explain a lot. Okay. I should have saved before I did all that. But regardless, we've set our positions. I've said my piece. We're gonna continue. Shouldn't be too hard to deal with this, so yeah. We'll just go through this again. Alright. Okay, there we go. Alright, we've made our decisions. Alright, there we go. We're gonna save here, so that way we don't have to go through all that dialogue again. That is a mistake on my part that I really should have addressed, but I digress. It's perfectly fine, because we can now go over to here and over to here as the distractions. Let's see how we fare. Hopefully I don't get stunned. But Pascal's going down, and we just... How come we got... What?
I'll do what it takes.
Hold on. How did that happen? So... Apparently her swings stun? Which is really weird. Alright, let's see. Can we force her to run and not stun us? Okay, we're still getting stunned. Okay. Well, we'll see how we fare.
Onward! This sacrifice will forge our way to victory.
So we're getting stunned, which is the problem here.
Didn't even flinch.
If we can overcome this problem, we'll be fine. Ow.
I must not falter.
I'm still stunned. How long am I stunned for?
Follow my lead.
Okay, so how is Nihil stunning us? Let's see. Humility protocol.
I'll brush this off.
Weapon at the ready.
Cooldown of 3 turns. Target must pass a willpower resistance check with a penalty of -10 or become stunned for 1 round. That would explain what's going on. Okay. I am going to make a move to go all the way over to here to start with. There we go. I'm going to swap over to a fire. I'm gonna burn this direction
On it.
to start with.
Never stood a chance.
There we go. Gonna make a run and gun here.
Don't let your guard down.
Alright, there we go. We're gonna go with some gun damage here. With the aim to target these guys here.
Your end was inevitable. You should have thought twice before crossing me.
There we go. We are going to do a reckless rush here. To get behind as much cover as we possibly can anyways. This should be fine. We'll activate wildfire,
I will
rapid
see to it
fire,
personally.
concentrated fire, as well as devastating attack. We don't need a heal just yet, but that will come in handy in the future, I would imagine, so... We'll prepare with that in mind, to say the least. Alright.
Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Here we go.
Moving out.
We lose our cover, that's fine. It's a small price to pay given the circumstances. We will heal, hopefully, in the future, but I digress. As long as we're quick in our pacing, we should be fine. Everybody's going to start crowding here, so we can get some insane burn going if we do it right, so it's not a big deal.
Faith strengthens me.
We are in a situation where we can do some serious burn if we know what we're doing, so we'll activate Revel and Slaughter here. Alright, let's save here under Pain. I'm satisfied with just using the Pain save here, and we should be fine. And I do believe if we do it right, we can actually blind literally everybody, making them making their to hit weight,
I am ready for whatever
making it
comes.
easier to deal with the enemy. If we face like this, we can get a lot of to hit here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Devastating Attack here. Get the burn ready. I'll aim in this specific direction. Nice. I'll make a run and gun here. Alright, we'll aim in this direction, I suppose.
On it. Consider this a taste of what your end was inevitable. I'll see to it personally.
Alright, and from here, we are just going to go all the way over to, let's say, this corner here.
Opportunities.
Activate
I'll make
Wildfire,
it happen.
buff up Rapid and Concentrated.
It's as good as done.
And we're just gonna barrage as much as we possibly can against these three here.
You never stood a chance. You should have thought your end.
There we go.
The best defense is a good offense. Stop me.
Alright, steady
Accept
superiority
your
here.
loss.
This will give us even more damage to work with. And we're just
I'll
gonna
see
burn
to
these
it
two.
personally.
We only got one, but that's fine. We can get a free reload in.
On it.
Swap over to a sword and board here. We're gonna go for
make it
cautious
happen.
approach here, so that will increase our defenses by a significant amount, I would imagine. Okay, there we go. We're gonna get a 178 dodge now, so that should make it a little easier for us. We're gonna get hurt a little bit, but otherwise we should be fine. These guys aren't gonna be able to do too much to us. Thankfully, Humility Protocol does not
I'll make
affect
sure
us too
to
heavily
return
here.
the favor one day.
So yeah. Now we deal with Nihil here.
I
We're gonna
don't
move
need
over to
luck.
here.
I have strategy.
Activate Revel and Slaughter. I'm going to aim with the Soul Intent to damage this one. There we go.
Who, if not
We'll do a
me?
Reckless Rush here. So that way we
Don't let
can
your
move
guard
up to
down.
here. Activate the
Here's
Firearm
my
Mastery.
perfect moment. Consider this a taste of what's to come.
We'll actually turn
I'll
off
make
Cautious
it
Approach
happen.
here just for the occasion.
I'll see
We'll
to
activate
it
everything so
personally.
that way we can minimize the effects against Nihil here. Make her truly regret facing us.
Another enemy down. I didn't flinch.
There we go.
On it. You should have thought twice before crossing me.
Alright, wildfire, just to get the
This is
most
good
out
as
of this.
done. The best defense is a good offense.
Oh, hello. Just having a bit of a existential crisis here.
Consider this a taste of what's to come. Who, if not me? The best defense is a good offense. Consider this a taste of what's to come. My gut tells me it's a bad idea.
No line of sight, so I guess I'm just focusing on my heal here.
I've faced
It's fine.
worse than this.
We'll just keep pelting her with 53 damage. Nothing too crazy about
The
that.
best defense is a good offense. Consider this a taste
I'm only
of
gonna
what's
take
to
1
come.
point of damage for each one, so whatever.
The best defense is a good offense.
For 1 damage,
Consider
it's not a
this
bad
taste
trade.
Of what's to come. The best defense is a good offense.
Alright.
You should have thought twice before crossing me. Consider this a taste
Nice.
of what's to come. You should have thought twice before crossing me. Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Nearly.
You should have thought twice before crossing me. Consider this a taste of what's to come.
And finally,
Your end was inevitable.
boom. I can't really do much until I deal with the Inquisitor, but other than that, all we gotta do here is just burn.
I'll make it happen. You never stood a chance.
Fire. Will not let you win. I will destroy the ship. Stop. Thou shalt not create schism. Thou shalt not suffer a heretic. Like the hand of a deity, the mechadendrite extends over Nihil's lying convulsing on the deck. I did not want this, tech sister, but the procedure must be completed. Farewell. His claw carefully removes a mangled soot-covered neural cogitator from Brass Whisper's head. The tech priest shudders, and peace descends over her disfigured face. The ghost-like figure in red approaches you cautiously. Enormous sad eyes look at you from his aesthetic face. Doubt has been shunned. The dominant of prejudice has ended. Abel's voice resonates with the same otherworldly profundity that has filled Pascal's box. This statement is true. Only imagination and judgment are left. Our directive is to conceptualize the future we desired and bring it into being. That priest looks the same as before, yet different. His morbid aura of martyrdom has given way to a calm and powerful halo of purposefulness. His mechadendrites move with the grace of an inscrutable dance. The scars left by loss and doubt have turned into dark threads on a radiant body, confined in its next step. His voice, a voice born of the nuclear font of a star and hardened in the cold of the interplanetary void. I'm sorry about the death of your tech sister. So am I. The tech priest's inscrutable gaze is fixed upon the body once inhabited by the Pascal shared mind. The voice from the Vox is like a tolling of bells, summoning a host of angels. I declare the period of ignorance over, and resume execution of the general algorithm. Integrity has been rehabilitated to a satisfactory degree. Free access has been restored. I remember everything. Pascal turns to you and gives you a long, brimming look with quiet elation. May the shattered mirror reassemble light wholly anew. Are you Armonat? This statement is true. Pascal's stock phrase sounds more complex and more human than before. I carry within me his memory and his logical foundation. I am us, I am Armonat. Abel points to Pascal's megadendrites and says softly, "They've always remembered. They've always preserved. Thank you for the path we have walked." As Pascal bows, his thin shoulders seem to take on an eternity to descend from the heights that his mind is soared to. "And I am sorry about what happened to Theodora." "Did you know Theodora?" "We were allies. She entrusted me with studying a trophy she had obtained." The voice from the box grows quiet and hoarse, as though coming from a distant past. "We, Armonat, discovered the basic way of communicating with it. We developed a weapons-grade strain of tech blight for her. It terrified me, so I developed its antidote, eschatos, the concept for the ultimate interruption of machine life. That was why every one of our shards was located so close to you, to the Von Valencius domain. We were counting on her finding us and extending us her aid and protection." "What are you? Or what were you?" "A higher form of intelligence, a collective of computational tools freed from the limitations of individualism, and the aberrations that stem from having a distinct personality, and at the same time, a collective bound by a single set of principles that are of equal importance to all, being pure faith in the Omnissiah and acting for the benefits of humanity. We were different. Each one of us considered the prospects of such an experiment, but I was the first to gain the resolve to attempt it. Nihil joined the project to effect control over it. She regarded the experiment as dangerously close to a blasphemous act of creation. The Conclave had ordered her to end my research. She became convinced of the possibility of its success. Nihil reinforced our union with the prudence of Demence, a meticulous and reserved auditor, a danger seeker. I strengthened our genius with the fiery faith of the warrior Tarsus, in order to banish the shadows of false ideas. Axamantha, who teetered on the brink of becoming Malatech, was chosen by us for her loyalty to ruthless logic and her close scrutiny, or indeed dissection, of our theories. Abel. Pascal turns his gaze towards his last surviving tech comrade. Our quiet genius, the caged genius of imagination, the abstract artist of code. His talent completed the collective and made it whole. And what's next? What is the general algorithm? A judgment must be passed. Should the secret Esteros exist or be shunned as a false path? And should I exist? That is, we, Armonat. A soft binaric melody, full of sadness and solemn resolve, pours from Abel's box. You've not heard it before. You would never have thought the binaric language could be so comprehensible to one who does not bear the mark of the Omnissiah's iron blessings. Armonat was a unit of 6 tech priests. All but a few of them are dead now. Does Armonat still exist? Everything Armonat was at the moment of the disconnection has now awoken in my mind. We are at the point where we stopped. The Armonat's collective was envisioned as a dynamic structure. We need new minds. If I bid you to follow, will you come with me, tech comrade? Pascal waits for an affirmative nod and speaks. We will be the core. The collective can be replenished with worthy minds for among those aboard Hermatio. Sincerity is present within their motives and faith. They are intuitively capable of comprehending the notion of discontinuing the cycle. Our collective memory can compensate for the lack of knowledge and memory of the rites. Restoration is possible. Pascal, or what used to be known as Pascal, makes a sacred gesture, and green sparks run down his mechanical arm. But the judgment must be passed first. And what judgments are you leaning towards? Arrogance creeps into Pascal's voice as he gazes on Nihil's body. The Armonat's collective experiment has demonstrated that a shred of consciousness is as prone to flaws as an individual one. We failed to put our power to the right use. We destroyed ourselves. That does not mean that our powers were bad. We were bad. Most of us. The race will dance and the mechadendroids take on a more chaotic and unpredictable pattern. I am leaning towards the idea that Esteros must exist, but not in the hands of the Armonat's collective. In mine alone. And what are your thoughts on this dilemma, Abel? Abel lowers his eyes and is silent for a while, then speaks. We have made great sacrifices. This statement is enigmatic. I request an expanded interpretation. Pascal looks demandingly in Abel's eyes, but he turns away. Okay, so there is 3 paths I could go for. So, out of them all, while I could go for the first 2 options, which basically act as, like, encouragement, I'm actually going to go for the 3rd option here. I think Abel means that your experiment has caused too much destruction and bloodshed. Abel gives you a sideways glance and says ruefully, "So much loss." Pascal nods with an air of authority and speaks. "I thank you both. Information has been noted and submitted for analysis." What will the destruction of Ateos mean for you? A shower of sparks bursts from the power unit on Pascal's shoulders, burning holes in his scarlet hood. An act of self-sacrifice. I will destroy the data concerning this technology and the method of reproducing it. I will burn it out of my neural circuits, along with everything that has led to its creation. Armonat will be no more. Only a damaged and incomplete shard of him will remain. Pascal Hanneman. Let's see. We don't need the Armonat, as far as I'm concerned. We do need Esteros, but we also need Pascal. I can guarantee that, but also the Secret of the Heresy is pretty bad. I gotta leave it to fate. Only you can make this decision, Pascal. Pascal throws back his head, and the power brimming in his voice rushes forth like a flood. The Tech Free's booming voice is heard throughout the ship, echoed by every Vox speaker on every deck. I was once part of a great whole. I was once, but one of many. We gleaned the horror that lay ahead, and we rebelled against it. Yet we proved unworthy of the knowledge revealed to us. Self-doubt drained our strength and made us hesitate. Just as the elders whose testaments we were following hesitated. Our fear of change drove us to dogma, paralyzed us, made us waste precious moments when we could have altered destiny's course. We fell apart, helplessly fleeing from the dilemma, and in scattering we exposed our weakness to the world. We were consumed by madness and fanaticism, by depravity and paranoia. The old mistake will not be repeated. I, Pascal Hanneman, will take the entirety of the knowledge, the power, and shoulder the entirety of the burden. I alone will preserve the great knowledge of Esteros, and declare that fate of the cycle that will be discontinued. Though our fate is implicable, I, Pascal Hanneman, will follow my sense of duty and become a protector to my tech brethren, leading them into a future alone. Put simply, he is going to shoulder the burden regardless. For the trouble, let's see. Let me see if Pascal got anything, nice. I just want to check just to be sure, because I'm not sure 100% what he got. If anything. He did not get anything. But this is honestly the better option out of the lot, so take it with a grain of, you know, take it with good vibes. He did a good thing. We got a bunch of stuff here, nothing too crazy. It's a random assortment of items that we don't really need, so we'll just grab everything here and we'll be going.
I always have a backup.
But yeah, by going with the third option is we have gone with the path of continuation. Put simply, continuation allows us to go through the effort of keeping Pascal alive without relying too much heavily on the path that it basically means that he's gone down the path of continuation, which allows him to basically live for himself. He is going to remain as Pascal Hanneman, and he's not going to be relying on the Armonat, basically. For any grand purpose, I should say. We're going to quickly loot the area, and then I'll probably go back to ship, and then I will wrap up, I think.
I won't let it define me.
We'll just do
I
some tech.
always get the job done.
Here we go, tech use done.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Is there anything else here? Yes, there is. There is another crate here. Got plenty of crates to go through. Thankfully, we managed to get out of this without any injuries. But yeah.
Let us not dawdle.
It seems that Pascal is going to be taking the mantle here and harboring the... He'll take the responsibility himself, basically, which is fine.
Backup plan.
There's no harm in him taking the lead, I think. If it's him, we'll be fine. He's smart enough. He'll figure it out, I'm sure. Regardless. Your lordship, we are observing a large squadron of Adeptus Mechanicus forces. Many of the ships are badly damaged. By the position of the servants beyond the side, they are divided into two groups. I dare say they were fighting not long ago. I'm picking up a signal from one of the ships. The ship is identified as the Von Valentius Dynasty vessel. You're being hailed by a representative of the Explorer Cognizant Fleet. Query: is the statement that a new Messiah has been created true? Is the statement that the Armonat unit no longer exists but the cycle will be discontinued true? They wish to know if their fractal battle should continue. What do you think I should answer, Vorg? Tell them the statement is true, Pascal. Pascal, the true Messiah, has arrived to correct the mistakes of his predecessor, mend the schism, and lead the Cognizant Fleet into the future. We are picking up an active Vox exchange on encrypted frequencies between the Explorer ships. Incoming message. The Caucasan fleet praises the new Messiah. Made mistakes of the schism not be repeated. Made a non-conformity be purged. The Omnicide knows all, comprehends all. And with that, we're basically good. I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's a little early, but it's by 5 minutes, so I'm just getting back into the swing of things. Next stream, we are gonna go confront we're gonna try to confront the Grand Inquisitor, see what the hell is going on with him, why he took that item, and, all that jazz, but I don't think we're gonna get the answers that we're hoping for, if any at all, because who knows where he is now. He could have just left Footfall for all we know, but I digress. We got a lot of things to cover, so next stream we will deal with that, and hopefully, by the end of, we're getting really close to the end game now, I do believe, so I think we're gonna get like 2, maybe 3, if we're lucky, 4 streams in before we have to wrap it up, but I digress. We're getting quite well into it, and I think we are reaching the near end, but I digress. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I know I did, and I will see you guys next stream. Take care, everybody, and have a good day.